It making me feel disgusted with the system that support this kind of nonsense, sacrificing animal, people, and will and destiny. You know, I'm hoping that there's some good people left in the world. You know, you know, if see, these people will tell you anything if you are ready to believe it. You know, if you don't have discernment, you know, you will not get anywhere with these people. You'll believe anything they tell you. They operate out of a Jezebelian spirit. But if God, if God, if God to favor me, then I have to be in an unfavorable situation. What does that mean? If God to heal me, I should be unhealed first. If God to expand me, I must know poverty and wealth. If God to surround me with love, I must know what to be rejected and never loved. What God decide to bless you, you will put you in a situation that the blessing can be visible. You know, if He blessed you, you have an experience of a curse. You know, those things that you don't hear from religious folks that claim they know God. They can't even tell you what blessing and favor look like, because to them, most of them, they support this bullshit. If God is to accelerate me, then I experience the stagnancy first. If God to make me fruitful, I must experience barrenness first. If God to make me great, I must experience being the least. If God to make me strong, then I went through challenges that will display God's strength. If God to speak good words upon me, many must speak bad words upon me. I'm telling you how to recognize God's people from the fake. Yes, He have approved of me. Most of the time when we come before God and we say, Lord, I receive favor, I receive this, I receive that, we don't understand that what we are saying is we are mentally capable of going through the storm that will display the blessing. When God favors you, God will put you in a situation to display that you're favored. So as a child of God, you need to understand this. When favor comes upon you, all the unfavorable things about you will show. He didn't like that. The Lord Jesus wanted His name above all names. He had to come to become a human. So for Him to have the greatest name, He has to become lower than what He is. He's God the Creator. He has to become a man in a vessel that has so many weaknesses. He had to enter weakness. He had to receive weakness, just so that His name can be able to save men. At the mention of that name, every knee shall bow, in heaven, on earth, and under the earth. Why? Because He has been given the greatest name. Why? Because He became less. So God doesn't increase you by becoming more. He increases you by subtracting what you used to be. To people around you, it will look like you became less. It will look like you became a failure. You will look like you don't have bright future. You will look like it's over for you. But they don't know God. put you as a slingshot, so that you can knock down a giant that nobody expected that you can knock. When David was a shepherd, his life was actually much better. When David was anointed, is when complaints about him begin. He go and see his brother. You always say causing trouble. All of the sudden there's problems. There is favor. There is favor. There is envious, jealous, and hate and problem. Favor is a sneaky. You know? Because favor will slither you into position without anybody noticing what God is doing. Most of you think God favors you, it's public. People see the end result of favor, but they never see the process of favor. Yes. You know? Because what men see, they kill. What they know, they destroy. So God uses favor to push you places. When favor comes upon you, immediately you are unfavored by men. Instantaneously. He kills Goliath, David, and still he's not liked. And the person who favors him becomes his biggest nemesis. David almost ran his life in the wilderness. Look at the Psalms, look at some Psalms, you see depression. And that's true. Depression. Crying to God. Lord, why me? Why me all this trouble? He prayed all the warfare prayers. That the angel of God go ahead of me and scatter the enemy. But didn't know the enemy was his favor. You know? Defend me against my adversity. God is not defending. God is just keeping him. Even though those prayers can be used for other things and other ways, but the truth, it never worked for David, because he know who was after his life, and he was fighting spiritual warfare. The reality is, God allowed Saul to persecute him while God is perfecting him. God allowed officials, yes, at the kingdom at that time. See, history always repeats itself. Allowed officials to steal from him. The beginning reign of David, it was really good because he had the discipline of relying on God. The moment everything became good, the moment everything became smooth, something else happened. Yes, his reliance on God reduced. Immediately troubles begin again. Because his reliance on God reduced, the trouble wasn't God caused. Two sources of trouble. See, one by God. God can bring you trouble to make you better, because it's his process of refining. God will bring financial difficulty so you know how to budget. So then he gives you millions, every cent count. Because even though God feeds you an abundant amount of bread, he still gonna come like ask you how many baskets you collect. So don't be nonchalant about what he has given you. He wants you to be awake. You know, God wants you to be awake. He wants you to completely sober. He wants you to be completely awake. He wants you to be that. Why does he want you to be awake? He wants you to be awake because he wants you to be in control of what he has given you. A good steward. How could you be a good steward of what God has given if you don't have an account of what is there, it's a problem. So, I'm gonna give you an example. Before, years back, I wasn't even able to activate my gifts. I was lost, I was not sober. I have no idea about the gifts inside of me and how they work. I was a person I barely had a dream, you know? Now I know my gifts. They got active. I know what they are. I know my powers. I dream every day. Anything I ask God, literally anything I ask Him, I see it in my dream. Anything. And sometimes it shocks me, get me amazed. And sometimes I refuse to believe what I see. But a spiritual being, a spiritual prophet, a spiritual seer, whatever you want to call him, should not go against what the Lord shows, like his emotion, like put the emotion aside, because that's the weakness of religious people. That's why they push things under the rug, or that because they have titles or how it make us look, or the most judgmental ever, the most judgmental folks in your life that can't give you 3 sentences that betters your life. The moment we resolve things inside of us, things become external. That's how my salvation before God, because ultimately I spend eternity with Him and prioritize that. As always.